Hello, this is Nicole with Angelic Therapy and Healing. Welcome, especially to all of the new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and joining our family here on the channel. So glad to have you here. Now, we are about 300 people shy of hitting 15,000 subscribers. When we do hit 15,000 subscribers, I will randomly select 2 subscribers to do free 15-minute readings for. So if you're new, you want to go ahead and subscribe, you'll have an opportunity to be selected for that. And so stay tuned because we are almost there. Thank you, Billy C, for your donation. Let's see here. Next week, we're going to do something a little different. So what we're going to do is, right now we've got those astrological messages that I posted for all of your signs on New Year's Day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 mid-month readings for 2 signs. And it will be the 2 signs who have had the most views of their January reading. So for right now, I believe Aries and Scorpio, I think, are the highest. So that it's not it. When I sit down to do the recording, whichever signs, the top 2 signs that have the most views, I will do mid-month reading for January for those 2 signs. And that will be next week. That will be in lieu of your typical weekly reading. Now, this will be your weekly reading for Monday, January 7th through Sunday, January 13th. Now, this is actually a very, very powerful time. So we are in the midst of this extremely powerful time that we can create the new beginnings that we desire. You know, we've just come into this new year. This new year, as Archangel Michael was sharing with us, it is a gift. This is when we finally, for all the work and just the sludge we've been trudging through for the past year, or some of us multiple years, this is when we're going to finally start to receive those blessings, those rewards. So we're in this new year. And we've come right into this new year with this new moon that we had yesterday on January 5th, because I'm recording this on Sunday the 6th. But we had this new moon. And in addition to that, we also had this partial solar eclipse. So what that has done, it has simply intensified, magnified what's going to be happening with that new moon. New moons are all about setting our new intentions. So you got a new year, you got a new moon, set your intentions, and then bam, you're getting a magnifying glass spotted on that to blow up whatever it is you're wanting to manifest and start. So it's going to completely 10 times magnify what it is that you want to manifest. So guess what? It's time to sit down. It's time to, go for what you want. Go for it now. Don't wait any longer. This is the time for you to do that. So for those of you that are going to ask, what was that noise in the background? I have a Kangen water filtration system, and it just told me to run the water to clear it out. So clearly it was giving somebody some emphasis out there that it's time for you to go for it. Do it. Take the action. Do not wait any longer. Go for what you want. This is the time. Now, for some of you, it may be just sit down and put together a list of the things that you want to manifest in 2019. What is it that you want? Do visualizations, but they keep saying action. So for some of you, you've been doing visualizations and stuff long enough. It's time for the rubber to meet the road and to take some action to do something. They're also saying for some of you that, maybe for you want to sit down, you want to do a visualization board, or you want to do, you want to write a list. Here's my goals. Here's the things that I desire in 2019. God, you said you're going to bring me some gifts. Well, here's what I'd like to have with a big red bow on it. And you want to write it down. Do that. They are encouraging, though. So for some of you, what they're saying is, a lot of times when we're wanting something, when we desire something, maybe we desire a new job. Maybe we desire a new car. We will sit in this state of thinking, well, one day when I have that dream job, someday when I have that job, someday when I have that dream car, I'm just waiting to get the money to get that dream car. If we're coming from that state, we're coming from a waiting someday in the future, versus if we're coming from a place of manifesting as though we already have it, then we're actually going to be able to create it because we're not coming from a state of lack. So say, for example, a car. I mean, for a lot of people, it can be love. It can be a dream home, a dream job, a business. But whatever it is with your situation, we'll use a car analogy. So say you're that person, you've been really wanting a new car for like 12 months, and you're like, I'm just waiting, God help me get a new car. I really need the financial abundance to go get a new car. And we're talking about, as soon as I get the money, I'm going to get the car. As soon as I have the money for it, I'm going to get the car. Well, then we're always waiting until we have the money. Oddly, the money never shows up. Well, that's because what we're putting out to the universe is someday when I get the money. I don't have the money right now, but someday when I get the money, I don't have it. That's manifesting from lack. So we don't get that new car. When we can flip our method of manifesting into, yes, continue to pray, continue to put your wishes out there, let them know what you desire. But then if you put emotion into it, you'll be able to manifest that new car. So instead of thinking and focusing on how, when you get the money, because you don't have the money, just focus on how's it going to feel when you get that new car. So instead, pray and put out, God, Jesus, angels, I have this dream car. I want this Corvette. I want it to be bright red. I want them to paint yellow flames up the side. And then visualize yourself. Visualize and feel. How's it going to feel when you sign that paperwork, when you sign that loan paperwork? How's it going to feel when they give you those keys? Oh my gosh, feel that joy of that first time you slide in that seat and it's in your name. Feel, how is that going to feel when you drive in your new car and you pull up to your lover's house or your parents' house or your best friend's house to say, look what I got. I finally got my new car. How's it going to feel? You need to feel that, because that is what's going to help you manifest it. That's going to shift you from lack into bringing it in. Instead of continuing to have it up in the ethers, it's going to pull it straight in for you. So make sure when you're doing your visualizations and all those things, go on ahead and do that. We are going to go on ahead and get started. For those of you that are interested in the cards that we're using today, we are using the Crystal Visions Tarot by Jennifer Glasso, Denise Lynn's Gateway Oracle, and Doreen Virtue's Love and Light, and then Lisa Williams' Intuitive Soul Oracle cards. Okay. And bottom of the deck, we'll go over that. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Okay. They're having me lay some bottom of the deck. I'm just going to put the bottoms of the decks over here for now, the ones that they're saying that we need to have on hand so that we don't have massive decks of cards in our way, and we will be going over those. That's funny. Okay. Those three. Well, apparently they have a lot of information for all of you this week. Okay. Now, let me see if I can sit up a little bit to see if you can see the cards without moving the Yorkies too much. My biggest concern is those flowers. Okay. You can still see them. Excellent. Let me see how far I can go without them being visible. Oh, great. We got plenty of space. Outstanding. For those of you that love the flowers, they're from Whole Foods. Okay. So what we have, and don't worry, I'm going to go on ahead and spread these out as we cover each topic. I anticipated them having us do one card for each subject, topic, and they, the angels never go with my plans. So why should they start today? They're always going to do what they want to do, and that's okay, because that's their messages for you. They're not mine. Okay. We're going to go ahead and leave them where they're at, because we're gonna have to end up adjusting them anyhow. So let's go ahead and push these up. Don't worry, when we get to the groupings of cards, I will spread them out and I will bring them into your view, into your sight, so that you can see them. Okay, now let me move one little Yorkie so we don't squish her. Okay, so what we have is the present situation. Then we have what has happened in the past that has led to the current situation. We have what is going to be happening in the future. They're saying that the future is approximately the 2 weeks following this reading, because again, this reading is for a time frame of January 7th through the 13th. So this would be, you know, what's going to be happening approximately January 14th through 27th through the end of the month. Okay. And then what we have up here is what it is that is unknown to you at this time. And then we have what the angels are recommending that you do, your steps to success. Now, oh, also for cards, I do have my Gilded Reverie Lenormands, and so we'll pull those for clarifiers along the way. And as I always say, when I prayed and prepared, shuffled the cards, I did ask that all of you receive at least one message. Do keep in mind, these are general readings for thousands of people. You may not find there's any messages for you this week. It's okay. Come back next week. There's just no way that we can, any of us readers, I mean, there's so many good readers online. There's no way that we're going to have a message that's going to hit everybody. There's just, you know, we're all going through so many different things. Now, collectively, we do often go through similar situations, hence why you'll have one reading that can resonate with like 1,500 people. So, but do just keep that in mind. So the situation, okay. So I'm looking at the court cards that we have here. Because we've got 2 kings and a knight. Oh, they're saying divine masculine. Okay, so, okay. So, scratch the whole, this is a general reading for the general populace. They're saying this is a twin flame reading. So what I was looking at, these are the bottoms of the decks that they had me pull. I'm going to save the one of the crystal visions to show you. But you have male, and you have all these males. So there's lots of masculinity stuff going on here. There's no women. There's no queens. Now, do keep in mind, there are people that at a soul level, they are masculine, they're in a female body, and there's vice versa. And do keep that in mind. And do keep in mind that as we're going through this twin flames, there's always going to be a masculine, there's always going to be a feminine. Always, period. Now, what body they're in, well, that differs. Just depends on what we chose before we came down here. But to keep things straight, this is a twin flame specific. They're pointing out these flames. This is a twin flame specific for divine masculine. And then this is going to be the stuff that we are covering is going to be for this week through the 13th. Of course, with regards, they are sticking with that time frame they gave us that this will be your future. So it will be the approximate 2 weeks following the time frame of this reading. So it's going to take you through the end of the month. Okay, guys, so let's see what is going on here. Okay, so you have the King of Cups. And, you know, the King of Cups is, you know, he's someone he's very fair. He's just, he has balanced emotions. You see, he's got his foot, if you can see that, he's got his foot on this rock, solid rock. He's got his other foot dipped down in the water, and water signifies emotions. So he's balancing the logical side of himself with that feminine emotional side. For twin flames to come into union, they actually have to be completely balanced, because we all have masculine and feminine energies in us, which is why even the meridians of our body, one side of our body is feminine, one side of our body is masculine. It's interesting because the meridians of the brain, the sides of the brain, actually differ from the sides of your body. So if you know, so right brain, very creative, it's the feminine side. They cross. But anyhow, we all have the masculine, we all have the feminine. In order for twin flames to come into union, they must be balanced. He's balanced. He's balancing that logical side with that emotional side. He is fair. He's compassionate. He's kind. He's also very open to his intuition. He has come into this state of psychic awareness, psychic knowing. That is, so you have come through this time period of spiritual growth. Congratulations, you are not the knight. You my dear, are the king. So you have stepped into your power. And that's something to celebrate. It hasn't been easy for you to get to this point, but you are at this point. Then we have this magician, and the magician can create anything that they want. And so this is a reminder that you are at this point in the present moment where you have the ability to create and manifest whatever it is that you desire. But it's also, they're saying that you need to consciously, like physically, effort action and deliberately put the action steps, put the effort forth to create what it is that you desire. Because you have not, with regards to love, been happy with what you've had. We've got this Four of Cups card. And this is a card of, indifference and withdrawal and apathy and boredom. Like if you look at this card, she's sitting here and she doesn't even notice these 3 cups behind her. She's just paying attention to this one in front of her. And she actually doesn't even have her finger on it. She's got her hand on the rock. Just kind of like looking at it, but not really looking at it because her eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. They're saying your eyes have been closed to the opportunity that you had. So again, this is a twin flame specific reading message. Now, for those of you that choose to listen to it, who are in fact twin souls or soulmates, by all means, you may find some messages in it, but again, do know that this is twin flame specific. So, if you choose to listen to it, these messages may not all be applicable. So you have come to this realization of who it is that you want to be with. Your eyes have been closed because you haven't paid attention, because this is being so focused on one opportunity, one cup, one person that you're in a relationship, one thing, and not, for you guys, it's a relationship. So you're so focused on a relationship, a majority of you. Now, some of you, it was you were focused on not really having a relationship, but you weren't paying attention to your twin flame. You see how this one has the lotus flower in it? So for some of you, you had a relationship you kept trying to rebirth over and over and over again. And these cups back here, there's no lotus flowers in them. There's nothing in them. She's not paying attention to them. So you weren't paying attention to your twin flame. You weren't paying attention to her. You'd blocked her out. You weren't paying attention. You were focused on something else. But since they're saying for some of you, those of you that it was another relationship, you actually have ended the relationship within the past. So for those of you, this message, most of you, you ended it in 2018, but majority of you, it finally came to a close, a conclusion, like December. They're saying for some of you, it could have been around, they're saying in December, it was a recent closure, but it's, majority of you, it was the very, last quarter of 2018, because you weren't happy. Many of you were not communicating with that person that you weren't happy, because see, the eyes are closed. So you really didn't want the relationship. It wasn't going well. You weren't happy. You're like, I don't really like this. It doesn't make me happy, but you were closed off to the relationship. But you also weren't paying attention to the one that you're destined for, the one that was pulling your heart, pulling in the direction. But now things have changed and shifted. So you are now to this point that you realize the relationship and or relationships that you've had in the past, and or for some of you, maybe you have been non-committal. Maybe in the past you didn't want to have a long-term relationship. You really didn't want to, because again, they keep pointing at the closed eyes. So for a number of you, you just didn't want to open your heart. You were staying closed off to love. Like, I'll hang out here because I don't have anything else to do. I enjoy the company. I enjoy the companionship. But I don't want to go after my twin, because the stuff she makes me feel would mean I would have to open up my heart, and that kind of freaks me out. So I'm going to stay in these relationships with these other people that, I don't really have to open up my heart. I don't have to put much effort forth. But it has gotten to the point that does not fulfill you. And you have gone through the spiritual awakening, and you've now come to the realization of, okay, I'm ready to change this. I don't want to be in these things, these relationships any longer that are not fulfilling. I no longer want to have my heart closed. For some of you, you no longer want to continue to be in relationships where there's a lack of communication and you can't be honest. Honest with what you desire, honest with what you want. For some of you, there was some difficulty closing the relationship that you ended because you were not communicating that. You didn't want to be in it, you were closed off to it, but it took you some time to finally, have that conversation to end that. But you did. Maybe for some of you, you had 2 relationships to end because you have these 2 crows and then you have this white dove. So maybe you had to end a relationship with 2 people in order to bring in your twin flame. You do see there's this infinity symbol on his belt. It says belt buckle is an infinity symbol. And this necklace / knife is pointing right down to the dove. So, and again, the magician's all about now you have what you need to manifest what you desire. So for a number of you, you have come to this point where you have ended 2 relationships so that you can create the relationship with your twin, with the other person, with the one that you now know and realize is in fact the one. Now, okay, so you have come to this point that you're ready. You know the one that you want. You know the one that you're meant to be with. You've ended these other relationships and or relationships. And for some of you, it could even just be, behavior patterns. Again, maybe you were just non-committal and you didn't want to do that. You didn't want to open your heart. Well, now you've ended that. Now you're ready. So you've come to this moment, this magical, powerful moment where you can actually create and get the things that you desire, that you want. You are the magician. You are ready. They're saying, they keep pointing out his foot's on this rock. So you are ready to create something that is built on a solid foundation, a rock solid foundation. Because in the past you've had relationships that were not in fact built on a solid foundation. Now you'll notice that both of these cards, none of the others, no. Both of these cards have water lilies, which are lotus flowers. And they symbolize, rebirth, divine birth, because for many of you, for all of you, to get to this point, it has taken a lot of spiritual growth and development. You have, in fact, had a divine spiritual rebirth. You're a new you. You've completely changed your life in so many areas, and now you're ready to change in the love department. You're ready to bring in and create something solid. Water lilies are also about, resurrection and purity, but also purity of heart. And you're now at that point. You're ready for something new. Now, what has brought you to this point? Actually, all right. We're going to pull 3 of these, see if there's any more information. Okay. So, and again, it should be zoomed. Yes, that's perfect. Okay, so you have bridge, and then you have the dice, and then you have the compass. Now, of course, bridge, this is about our connection to people. What connects people or, continents, lands? A bridge. How do you get from one point to the other? But a bridge is also what can separate you from somewhere else, someone else. But a bridge is also what will bridge the gap, what will bring the 2 of you together. And you have dice. Dice is all about taking a risk, taking a gamble, taking that leap of faith into the unknown, something that we're uncertain about, new opportunity. Then we have the compass. What does a compass do? In the military, when we go through officer school, they take us through this land navigation. They also take us through it again right before we deploy. Well, the Army, if you deploy with the Army, they'll put you through some land nav stuff. And they'll put you out in the middle of the woods with some grid points and a compass and let you figure yourself out. Get yourself out of that mess that you're in with your little compass. All you have to guide your way are some grid points and a compass. And a whole lot of faith that God is not going to get you stuck in the forest overnight. But a compass helps you find your way. It helps you get back onto your path. It helps you get back onto that destined, fated path. The path that will bring you sunshine. If you notice in this card, you have the sun here. The sun is all about happiness, dreams coming true, total fulfillment in all areas. not just sexually, but intimately, like, intimacy, being able to truly open our heart and connect with someone, to have common interests, common values, be on the same page. A relationship that totally fulfills us. But this card's also about devising a plan. And, it reminds us that it's imperative, like we must focus on that desired outcome that we want in that journey in order to get the outcome that we want. And it's also, guides us to, because you see this is pointing north, it points us to our true north, our destiny, where we're fated, the direction we're fated to go in. So this is where you're at. You have come to this point of not being happy in the past. You've let everything and everyone go. You know the one you want. Everything's pointing to her. You're ready to drop in her direction. You're ready to make this happen. You are ready to bridge this gap. You're ready to reconnect with her. You're ready to come back together with her, come back into union with her. It is a huge risk for you. Many of you are very, very fearful of this. And we're going to cover why you're fearful later on. But it's going to turn out beautifully. Now, the other thing is you are at this point where you are putting a plan together of, okay, how am I going to do it? I know I want it. I know I want her. I know I want to go in that direction. I am ready to take that leap of faith. And so you're now putting together the plan. And that's exactly what you need to be doing, they're saying. Is putting that detailed plan together. And they're saying that the majority of you are doing that. They're saying for most of you, you have the plan ready. All you need to do is put it into action. Now, what has led to this amazing, monumental, life-changing, pivotal point of yours, where you're putting this, you know what you want, and you're not just, because you've gone through so much to get here. You've had to go through letting people go, letting things go, coming to the realization of, okay, this is the one I want. To now I have a plan. I have a plan on how I'm going to get her back. I know what I want to do. I'm just terrified to do it. What got you to that point is you have the Seven of Wands. And Seven of Wands is, about struggle, conflict. You can see he's outnumbered. All he has is this one spear. And look at all these others. He's got 6 coming at him. But you notice he's at a higher elevation than them. He's the one that's at the advantage. He's not going to be overtaken. Because although he's outnumbered, he is more powerful. Now, okay. So you have owls. Now in this deck, I have the extended version of these cards, hence why there's dice and things that aren't in the traditional deck. So in this deck, 12 is the birds, but this has a second birds card, which is the owls. And the owls are all about, listening to sound, solid advice from others, be it family, be it friends, but, listening to that advice. But it's also about, what do owls, their heads can spin all the way around. They can observe and take in everything going on at once. They are very observant. When you're growing up and your mom's like, I have eyes behind my head. Well, she's kind of like an owl. They can turn their head around. This is about observing those signs and those things that are very important. So you finally did take note of those things. You got the clouds, and clouds are about clarity, but you look, it's going from dark to light. And then you have 27, which is the letter. That's all about document information, but acknowledgement. It's about acknowledgement for you. So in the in the very recent past, they're pointing out the 2 full moons. This one and this one. So for some of you, this occurred around the December full moon, which was right before Christmas, approximately 2 weeks ago, 22nd of December, they're saying. So at that time is when you came to the acknowledgement that you wanted to open your heart. You wanted to stop blocking your heart. Okay. See how this card's kind of red? And you see how he's got this shield up and he's blocking them out. Won't let them in. So for some of you, part of what led to this, but they're saying for those of you that was another relationship, you're finished with the relationship, you're over with the relationship. Now it could have been that some of you finally ended it, officially communicated that it was over around the end of December. But they're saying for most of you, this is really, so for those of you that it was a relationship, you had to release a relationship to get to this point that now you're ready to devise the plan to get with the one that you know is now the one that you want to be with. Relationships of the past, lots of conflict, lots of difficulty. You kept struggling to make it work. You felt like it was a fight. There was a lot of hatred, a lot of heat, a lot of anger, a lot of jealousy. They're saying there were others. It was not pretty. But you finally have acknowledged it for what it is. It was the darkest past. You're ready to move on to the future. For some of you, a lot of friends and family were telling you to jump ship, get out of there. Now, for others of you, most of you, what this is saying is you were blocking your heart. In the past, you have not wanted to let people in. And you didn't want to let her in. And you have now come to this epiphany, this aha moment. And they're saying for some of you, this epiphany, aha moment happened right before Christmas, right on the holidays. So for some of you, you actually had you had time off of work. You had that alone, quiet time to sit with your thoughts. And this epiphany finally came in that, oh my gosh, love's always been a struggle because I haven't wanted love, but I haven't found the one I wanted. She's the one I want. But I blocked my heart. And I now know I need to open my heart for that to work. And also for communications, we're going to be covering that too. Okay. But the main thing, you come to this point where you no longer want to keep your heart closed. You no longer want to block yourself off. You no longer want to isolate yourself and separate yourself. So for those of you that you've not been committal, because you feared opening your heart. Could be because of things that happened in the past. For some of you, it could be things that happened in past lives. But it left a mark and you didn't want to open up. And now there's been a change in you. You now want to open up. You now want to have something solid built on a solid foundation. That's what you now desire. And you also know who you want to have that with. Now, interesting, we're going to move these down. I'm going to move these so you can still see them, but we're going to kind of move them out of the spotlight a little bit. Hopefully we'll continue to have some daylight. So we have this 4. Okay, yeah, we've got 2 4s and 2 7s. Now, other way. Get them out of order. So for some of you, some of this preparation and stuff that you've gone through is to prepare financially. You've had to deal with some work stuff, some financial stuff. Maybe for some of you, the person maybe you're going through a divorce and you had to go through the separation of your assets. And hence you had to get to this state of, financial security, having all of that closed and taken care of in order to be able to move forward. And now you're there. There's also 2 7s. So a large number of you are lacking the confidence to move the relationship forward, and it's because of fear. because 2 sevens is indicative of, self-confidence is what's causing some instability with the relationship. So there's not stability. There's not a relationship. You're not together at this point. For most of you, you're not even communicating. But it's because you fear. There is a lack of confidence. It's not that you don't. Because for a large number of you, you've had to heal to get to the state of feeling worthy. So it's not that you lack confidence in yourself. It's that you lack confidence that it's going to work. That it's going to come back. You fear it's not going to come back together. You fear she's not going to forgive you. Now, what's going to be happening in the future? And again, this is going to be through the end of January. We have 7 of Swords. And 7 of Swords is all about deception, treachery, betrayal. It can be because of something we did hastily, we did without even thinking it through or planning it. It's also about, cutting our losses, walking away, even though we feel defeated. Because sometimes we want to keep fighting for something because we're like, I will not be defeated. I will win this battle. I will win the war. Then we have this Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords, he's somebody that's honest and he's truthful and he's forthright, but he's young. He's not the king. So he's very aggressive. He's forceful. He's unrelentless. He's unbending. He's not flexible. But he's also someone, and this card, you can tell he's ready for battle. He's got his sword drawn. He's ready. But there's no opposition. There's no enemy awaiting him. He's on this beautiful white winged horse, just glowing and sparkling. He has his sword drawn, but there's no one there for him to fight. Then you have the Death card. And the Death card, in this deck, it's all about, releasing the old in order to have the new. So it can be releasing a person. It can be releasing thought patterns, depend upon. Now, obviously, this is about love. It can be releasing jobs, releasing whatever it is that needs to be released in order to have the new, in order to have a transformation. It is about transforming a situation, transforming a relationship. Now, on this rock here, what's inscribed on the rock, it's actually in Latin, but what's inscribed is, life is changed, not taken away. Your life is not over. This relationship is not over. This card is definitely about change. It's about transformation. This relationship is about to be changed. Now, why? Okay, so you've got the Fox, Flowers, and Child. Now you've got these calla lilies, which are all about faithfulness, purity, good luck. You've actually got them twice. It's going to be good luck. It's going to turn out very, very well. But what's going to be happening in the future, next couple weeks? Now, for nearly all of you, this relationship of the past, it's over, because you're in the planning phase of how you're going to start this new beginning. What are your steps? How are you going to get her back? Sorry, you lost her. How are you going to make it happen? How are you going to bring her back? So it's over. But for a number of you, no, not a number. Okay, so they're saying for a small percentage of you. So they're saying 30% of you. You had this battle with this ex-partner. The battle's over. You have, in fact, walked away. But for some of you, you do keep beating yourself up, not feeling. That's why you're beating yourself. Okay. So for those of you, that's a small percentage. They're saying in order for you to move forward, you keep beating yourself up because of how this past relationship made you feel, that person made you feel. You're going to have a transformation in your thoughts because it's caused trust issues, but you're going to have they're saying a transformation of how you think of yourself, how you view yourself. And again, they're saying it's not even 30%. It's a smaller percentage of you. We'll say 20% or less. Most of you, what this is about, you see, you've got fox. Foxes are deception. You've got these flowers. Flowers are all about, something that's a gift, something, community. Because what do you do when you're courting someone, when you love someone? This has got a love note. You court them. You communicate your love. You communicate how you feel, which brings about happiness and joy. And then you have the child, which is all about something new, a new beginning, something that's fresh. So this is, again, what's going to be happening in the future between now and the end of January. So what's going to happen? In the past with her, there was deception. In the past, some of you, okay. So all of you made a hasty decision to run in an opposite direction. Could have been for someone else. Could have just been to run because you weren't ready to open up and commit. You weren't ready to open up your heart, share how you felt. You were not ready to communicate how you felt about her. You were not ready to communicate with her that you loved her. You were not ready to be full in on courting her. So you ran the opposite direction. A number of you ran in the opposite direction with someone else. And now, she's the one. You want to move in her direction. Now you want to have this conversation with her. You're fearful that when you move in her direction, because again, he's prepared for battle. He's got his sword drawn. Swords are all about communication. It can be internal communication. It can be external communication. This is about externally, because you got this communication card. You're ready to communicate your feelings with her. You're ready to share with her how you feel. You're ready to communicate your love, communicate your feelings, which in fact will bring you a blessed new beginning. Which will completely, they're saying it's going to completely, they kept bringing up this card's about change. This is going to change your life forever, and it's going to change it for the better. This communicating with her how you feel, and also communicating the truth. But the big key piece is, because for a number of you, where you did leave her for someone else, you'll be communicating that. You've been fearful going because you're fearful she's going to want to do battle with you. You're fearful she's going to be coming with sword drawn, ready to stab you. So because you're fearful of that, you haven't had that conversation. But again, there's no opponent. There's no one ready to do battle with him. She's not going to do battle with you. She's already forgiven you. You just don't know it. And sometimes it's hard to believe things if we don't have any physical proof of it. I mean, I get it. I live in my land of my invisible angelic friends talking to me all the time. Okay, they want to give you guys an example. Okay. She has forgiven you. You don't know it yet. Despite the fact that you have telepathic communications with her, she has. It is not, okay, so they're saying that you have got to start trusting your intuition, which is these owls. Your intuition's what's led you to this point. You know she's the one. You're putting together a plan of how to make it happen. Well, you need to trust that intuition and follow through. They're saying a lot of you are having a very difficult time because you are so fearful. She is going to not even give you a chance to speak. But your intuition is telling you otherwise, and they're saying that this is at a pivotal point that you must listen to your intuition. It's not going to lead you astray. You're getting also a lot of divine signs and synchronicities. Like some of you, you may have bumped into her, or some of you, you're going to be bumping into her this month. That's another push from your team. Do it. Do it. Go for it. It's time. So they're going to be pushing you. You may have already bumped into her. Maybe you went to the post office and she was there. She was leaving as you were going there. That's your divine team saying, do it. Go for it. She's not your opponent. She's not going to do battle with you. She's not angry with you. She's forgiven you. So, because, so you guys, you're divine masculine. Although you are in a state of balance, there is that logical side. I get it. I work with men, grew up with brothers. I get it. You're very, very logical. Okay, so which is why they want you to have an example. Okay. Sometimes we'll have difficulty listening to that intuition. Like me, I get to listen to the angels talk all the time. Those of you that have been on the channel for a long time, you know I'm clairaudient. I survived a rocket blast in Afghanistan. Ever since the blast, I hear angels like they're sitting next to me talking. And it's a gift. Although sometimes it can be difficult because I am a twin flame. I like you imbalanced. But at times when we're just intuitively being given information all the time and we're not seeing the physical proof of it, it's really, really difficult for us to trust that. So take my retirement. So I was retired November 28th. Haven't received any pay since then. Post in January. Oh, it's just, it's just a hot mess and a long process and stuff. But I am in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program, and I have a lead care coordinator and a team that they're just amazing, and they've been so helpful. And so when a military person here in the U.S. gets injured in combat at war, and they're injured by an instrument of war, so shrapnel, a rocket, if something's actually, what they call an instrument of war, has actually injured them, then they receive this special combat pay in addition to their retirement pay. And I, being injured by an instrument of war, I do receive this special combat pay. Now, the thing is, you have to, even though my orders say, yes, injured by combat, all that stuff, you still have to apply for it with your branch of service before this, DFAS that does our pay takes care of your pay. So, my care coordinator, she's amazing. She helped me get all my stuff submitted. Now, she did tell me the Air Force, it typically takes them 6 months to finish because it has to go through board and all their balances and checks and everything. And it could take 6 months until they approve it. And then it finally goes to DFAS, and then at that point, they'll do the final processing to process your pay. But they don't see what the combat pay is CRSC. They won't set it up until they receive something from the service member's branch of service saying, yes, this person was injured by an instrument of war, yes, they get CRSC, and yes, here's the percentage. But that doesn't happen until they get it. Air Force, she's saying 6 months. Now, the logical physical side, physically, I'm being told 6 months. So I'm thinking, okay, not going to be till the spring. We submitted this stuff. It's not going to take that long. Intuitively. Well, Jesus and Archangel Michael have been telling me the whole time, oh no, you're going to be receiving that in January. Your CRSC has already been approved, and your first check that you're going to be receiving, it will be in January. It'll be within the first week or two of January, and you're going to be receiving your retirement pay and your CRSC pay because it's been approved and it's been processed, and you'll be receiving both. That's not at all physically what I'm getting at all. It's not what I'm told. I have all these amazing people helping me. None of them are saying that. No one's giving me that information. Intuitively, all I keep getting from them is calm down. You're fine. You're going to get it. You're going to get both. No money worries. Everything's going to be good. But when we just rely on that intuition, it's hard, especially scary when we're feeling like we're in the dark, like you're feeling like you're in the dark. I mean, this does not look like a happy place. Where you're at, guys. Not happy. Lots of clouds, lots of crows flying over. What do crows fly over? Dead things. Not in a happy place. Me, financially, not in a happy place. When am I going to get some money? I've got bills to pay. The Yorkies and I like to have a warm house. We like food. So, intuitively, I'm being told it's fine, it's coming in. Nothing physically says that. Everything physically is telling me not until late spring, early summer. This week, I'm on the phone Thursday with DFAS, talking to this young gent. He tells me, they just finished the last step, ma'am. You'll be paid any day. And I said to him, okay, well, do you know by chance if they've received any of my CRSC stuff? And he said, well, yes, ma'am. They finished processing it. They have all your CRSC stuff. It's approved. It's processed. You'll be receiving your CRSC and your retirement pay any day now. It might show up in your account today or first day or so next week. It's going to show up in your account any day, ma'am. It's all been processed and done. That is the first time anyone had physically told me my stuff had already been approved by the Air Force and sent and processed. Up to that point, I, like you guys, was totally in the dark, relying completely on my intuition, having faith God is going to come through. This is going to work out. God's saying it's working out. It's all going to be okay. Nothing physically was showing that at all. That's where you're at. And your miracle's about to pop through. My miracle, just my retirement pay, it'd be good. It takes care of my bills. I'm a happy camper. But to get that and the CRSC, that's a mini miracle. I will take mini miracles every day of the week. Even just hearing that news from him on the phone made me want to dance and celebrate. That's my mini miracle for the day. You are about to receive miracles, but it does rely on you trusting your intuition. She's not going to do battle with you. She's not angry with you. She's forgiven you. So between now and the end of January, You will be moving forward and having a conversation with her. The most important thing that you need to share with her is how you feel. And that is going to get you this new beginning. Everything with her is going to change. They're also saying it's going to go from, they were talking about, calla lilies. You think the relationship's dead and over. You see how she's just laying here like stone, cold stone. But there's this, even from the Grim Reaper's starting to illuminate with light. It's actually an angel. In a moment, they're going to remove that robe, and this radiant light's going to be there. You've got this divine light coming down with all these butterflies. Butterflies are about transformation, rebirth, and even it's etched on the stone. Life is changed, not taken away. This relationship is not over. It's not. And it's about to be forever changed for the better. But it will be hinging off of you moving forward and having that conversation. Now, what it is that you're unaware of, we're going to try and speed this up so we can get this done. Run out of daylight. I am hungry. Hopefully you don't have to hear my stomach growl. Okay. So we have Judgment, King of Swords, and the Emperor. So Judgment, it's atonement, it's absolution, being forgiven. It's for a fresh start, leaving the past behind you so that you can have that fresh start. You've got this King of Swords. The swords, again, are all about communication. King stepped into his power. You have two kings. And you have the Emperor. You have stepped into your power, finally. He communicates. He's honest. He's cool. He's calm. He's collected. He's very tactical, very honest. And then you've got this Emperor. And the Emperor, he's very authoritative. He's structured. He is the ultimate #1 guardian protector. He's the patriarch of the family. He's very confident and self-assured. And these are the things that you're unaware of. We're going to try to figure out what it is that you're unaware of. Okay. So we have the well, the wishing well. We have 12, which is, the birds, communications, typically between lovers, couples. Then you've got this book, which is, secrets. That's why they're talking about calla lilies again. So calla lilies, they can be different colors. When they're purple, and these are in fact purple. If you can see that. Purple is indicative of royalty and passion. There's a lot of purple in all these cards. Purple is also like a transformation, like the violet flame. This relationship is going to totally transform. You are not aware of that. So what is unknown to you, you think it's done. It is not done. It is not over. You are also not aware so well as, our wishes, our hopes, our dreams. She's your wish. She's your hope. She's your dream. You are dreaming and hoping for a fresh start with her because, again, Judgment's also about a fresh start. You will, in fact, be having the fresh start. You will also be forgiven for what has occurred in the past, for what has transpired, because for a number of you, you did leave her for someone else. And some of you did that because of financial obligations. Maybe you had children. Maybe you had a business together. But there was a financial bind of something that kept you financially bound. You felt an obligation to help this other person. And you didn't communicate that with your twin. You didn't tell her. But this is totally, sharing everything. Sharing everything, bearing everything. That is going to get you your new start, your new beginning. Your dreams will be coming true. You are going to have those things. You are going to be forgiven. To not fear communicating, because again, this is communicating. It's all about him communicating. This is communicating with lovers. This is secrets. So they're saying that what's unknown to you is, again, you're forgiven. She's going to forgive you. She already has. This is going to be the miraculous love that you've been daydreaming, that you've been wanting, that you've been visualizing, that you know it will be. these communications are going to turn out very well, and they will be resulting in you beginning to create what you desire. You see, the Emperor's hand is resting above this little world globe. So that the world, the things that you desire, you're going to be able to manifest. It's also in that sacral solar plexus area. That's where we create things. That's our powerhouse seat of creating. You are unaware that you are going to create this fresh new start with her as soon as you have the communications with her. And for some of you, this is also saying, because it's not just communicating secrets, because for a lot of you, the secrets, that the thing that has you so afraid is sharing the things that you've done. And for most of you, it's because, you chose to go be someone else. Now, for some of you, it could have been, maybe you had an alcohol addiction and you have now taken care of that. Maybe you have some other type of addiction. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We all have things that we work through. That's why we come here. We all could just share our dirty laundry and be like, hold my beer. We all have that. But this isn't just about sharing the secrets and the reason you left and went a different direction or weren't ready. This is also about sharing your secret desires, about what it is you desire to create, what your hopes are, what your wishes are. For some of you, you actually want to become fathers, because you keep bringing up, and my ear is ringing now, they keep bringing up kids. You want to be a father. You want to be that patriarch. They're saying that's a secret desire, a secret wish of yours that you haven't communicated with people, and you haven't communicated with her. She wants the same thing that you do. But they're saying, communicate that. What you're unaware of is that when you communicate these secrets, be it secrets of things that have transpired in the past that you may feel ashamed or unproud of, or fearful she's not going to accept you once she finds these things out, trust and know she is going to completely accept you. You are going to have this blessed, lucky, miraculous new beginning. You are guaranteed. The angels keep saying the same thing over and over and over. It's like repeating in all the cards. It is going to start fresh and new. And for those of you where you're going to be sharing your desires, your wishes, your deepest hopes and dreams, you're going to be on the same page, which is going to be a very refreshing change for you, because you have not been on the same page with people in the past. Now, okay, put that over there for right now. So cover these real quick. So what the angels are recommending. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, good. Oh, I didn't tell you guys what 2 7s was, did I? I was telling you about the self-confidence thing. So the angels are saying, because you're having such a difficult time listening to your intuition, let Nicole tell you the same things over and over and over. So don't complain below about how I kept saying the same thing, because there's some guys out there that need to hear the same thing over and over and over to muster up the courage to go for it. So they're saying you have these 2 7s. 2 7s is true love. This is true love. This is the one. You know she's the one. A lot of you have put together the plan of how you're going to get her back. You've got multiple plans. I could try this. Ooh, I could try this. Ooh, maybe I'll blow her socks off if I do this. We'll just take the action steps with one of them. You don't even have to be picky. She's going to love you and accept you and forgive you, no matter which option you go with. But you need to go with one. And you need to trust. They're saying, how many more signs do they have to give you? Especially for some of you that where you are going to be running into her. If you haven't already, you will be. That is God, that is Jesus, that is your entire divine team of angels shoving the 2 of you into the same direction so that you can finally have this conversation and move over. Move over into the new. Okay, move into this new future. They're trying to move you over into the new. They're trying to get you into this new chapter. They're going to punt kick the 2 of you together to make this happen, because it's time. They're ready for you to be happy. You're ready for you to be happy. So what they're recommending that you do, you've got this card Rain. At the bottom it says cleansing, refreshing, rainbow, freedom. Now, you have resisted moving forward with her for a very long time. They're saying for eons, for eons. So because it is a big change, it's opening your heart, it's doing all these things. It's totally going against the way that you've done things before. She's also made you feel things you've never felt before. You've known, you felt, but you're like, nope. This card is about allowing the things that you have resisted. Because, whatever we resist persists, and that's what you've had with her. She's never out of your mind. You compare other people to her all the time. You're always thinking of her. But they're saying to allow heaven, because it's raining, and you got this beautiful rainbow, allow heaven to wash away any final resistance or fear that you have had, so that you can move forward in this new journey, this new beginning, which in fact will be magical. It will be filled with lots of treasures and blessings. They're saying like there's going to be rewards that you weren't even thinking of. They're showing me a treasure box. For some of you, you have some serious concerns about money. So for some of you, maybe she's got some independent wealth that you're not aware of. She may. And you're going to be surprised when you find out. But for others of you, it's just, you're going to find there's so much in common. You're so on the same page. It's going to be better than you could have imagined. Okay. But you do need to open up to it. You've got this card, love. At the bottom, it says heartfelt, passion, unconditional love, togetherness with your partner. This is unconditional love. This is your twin flame. This is, in fact, your other half. You will not find anyone else that's a better match for you. She is it. She is you. You'll find your lives have been parallel. You've had parallel, similar experiences. Your lifetime and her lifetime have been divinely orchestrated leading up to this point. Allow yourself to open up to this love. And the other bigger thing that they're saying is reach out. Because you're open, you're ready to open, you want to open, you got to this point, you're like, I'm dropping this sword, I'm dropping this shield, I'm not going to fight this anymore, I want to open my heart, I want to let her in, oh my gosh, I'm so ready. But you have to reach out to it now. You have to reach out to her. They're saying reach out to her. She loves you unconditionally. There's a country song, they're playing for me right now. She loves me like Jesus does. Jesus loves us unconditionally. Doesn't matter what we do. They teach that, if you're a sinner, you're not going to be loved. No, Jesus doesn't care. He doesn't care. You'll do something that you think is a sin. You're not going to be loved. You're going to be on the bad list. No, Jesus is going to still love you. A lot of people are wrongly taught that if they love someone that is of the same sex, they're not going to be loved. That's not true. Jesus still loves you. If you've stolen money from people, Jesus still loves you. He loves you unconditionally. It doesn't matter what you've done, what you think is wrong. A lot of people think that they've done things wrong, and they're actually not wrong, in fact. But she loves you unconditionally. Period. Reach out to her. Look at this beautiful rose. She's your beautiful rose. Reach out to her. The next card is kind of saying the same thing. It's like they keep saying the same thing, and we're going to wrap this up because they just keep repeating the same things over and over. We've got giving birth. At the bottom it says, I am bringing forth new and dynamic energy into the world. So what happens when a woman's pregnant and in that gestation phase? She starts to begin to prepare. She starts to get the baby room ready, the nursery ready. She starts doing the preparations, taking the actions. Your desires are about to manifest. All of your dreams and hopes and these things. You got this new moon, you got this new moon. This new moon, for most of you, between this new moon and the next new moon, you are going to have this conversation with her. You are going to come into union with her. It is going to be beautiful. Now, for that to happen, again, these are the angels' recommendations. For that to happen, you do need to reach out. Call her. Contact her. Your hopes, desires, and wishes are going to manifest. It is going to work out with her. You two are going to come back together. It does require your attention. This card reminds us it requires our attention. Just like, when you're preparing to birth a new life. Well, if you don't do anything, if a new mother and father, if they're expecting a baby, and they don't get the baby, they don't get the nursery room ready, they don't get clothing, they don't get little baby soaps, they don't get everything that they need to welcome this new miracle that they have created together out of their love. If they don't prepare, well, that baby's going to pop out and they're going to be scrambling. Oh my gosh, we don't have diapers. Oh, they're using the bathroom all over the floor. What do we do now? Oh, you have to prepare. This card reminds us, prepare, take the actions. This card also reminds us the time is now, because, you know, that gestation phase, that goes by real quickly. You've been in the gestation phase for a while. You are within days of giving birth to this new fresh start with her. You're within days. And you have done most of the preparations. Final preparations is, again, you've got this bird, communications. Last card you've got is release your cares to God. At the bottom it says, oh, that I had wings like a dove, then I would fly away and rest. Psalms 55:6. Now, they've got this, you know, wishing upon a star. They've got this shooting star back here. They are not saying to take a break. They're saying that is not it. They're saying there's so much, why is there so much fear? Yeah. It all keeps coming back like to the same thing. So you've got the lily, mask, and time. So lily's all about, you know, sexual things, a long-term relationship, satisfaction, wisdom. Then you've got mask, and mask is about opposites, disguise, concealment. Then you've got time, and time literally is indicative of time, like the clock is ticking, the time has come. So you are fearful because in the past you did not have, in fact, a long-term relationship with her. For some of you, you fear that maybe she thinks that it was just sex, or maybe you just thought it was. Maybe you just thought, okay, well, I guess this is just something short-term. Or in the past, you weren't interested in a relationship with her or even others for anything other than sex. And not to make it just, you weren't interested in any deep, long-term committed relationships. You were enjoying the companionship, you enjoyed. But the tide has turned, things have changed. Biggest reason for many of you that you're scared is because you're, well, not scared, but you're fearful. Because you have had a change in the way that you view things. In the past, you have not wanted relationships to be long-term, but now you do. You do want things to be mutually beneficial. You do want something to stand the test of time. You want something built solid on a rock. You are, so the time has come. You have changed. So for sometimes, you know how they'll say like the clock is ticking. So for some of you, you have reached that point where you do want to be the patriarch. You do want to have a family. For some of you, they're saying you're ready to have a family. The time's come. You're ready to have a family. You're ready to settle down. You're ready to lay some roots. You're ready for this. You want this now. In the past, you didn't want it. You didn't want it with her. You didn't want it with anyone. But now you want it. And the only person you want it with is her. But you're afraid since so much time has passed that maybe she doesn't want it any longer. Maybe she's moved on, but she hasn't. She hasn't. How many more signs do you need from the divine? She's not. She's yours. Just as you are hers. And again, for a big number of you, the big thing that is fearing you is maybe you left her for someone that you just had some unmeaningful sexual relationship, just I don't want to call it empty, but it didn't hold the meaning for you. But you left her for this other relationship. Now you've changed your mind. But you okay, that's what they're saying. But you had concealed that relationship with her. Concealed that relationship from her. You did not tell her. And you fear that. The same thing that they were saying earlier. It keeps coming back to you're fearful that she's not going to forgive you. And she is. Now, last couple cards. You know they were having me pull a few cards off the bottoms of the decks. I'm just going to show you these and read you these because they keep saying the same stuff over and over. But apparently there's some of you out there that need to continue to see it over and over and over to muster the courage, step into your power, and move forward and have the conversation with her. Because, when you do, your life is going to immediately, drastically change for the better. All these things that you kept hoping for, bam, are going to drop in your lap. So you have creativity, because again, you are, we're where'd you go? You're the emperor. It's time for you to create, coming from your center power, your little powerhouse. Time for you to create the world, the things that you desire. At the bottom, it says movement, music, writing, following your passion, freeing your inner child. It's time to free yourself to have the love, have the life that you desire, to create something music. Oh, they're saying to create music with her and to create something magical. You are, in fact, the male. Masculine energies is what it says at the bottom. Male figure in your life. Father figure. Because, again, they do keep saying for some of you, you are ready to have a family. And you're ready to take a risk. Going clear back to the dice again. At the bottom, it says taking chances. Jumping in with 2 feet. Risk taking. Go for it. It's time to walk through that new door. And it will take you stepping into your power to do that. We have standing strong, strength, power, firm. Now, for some of you need to muster some final courage. Archangel Michael says, ask him for his help. If you're like, okay, Archangel Michael, I want to do this, but I don't know. I'm going to need you to help me. Help me muster the courage. You've given me umpteen signs. I'm ready to do it, but help me. Ask him, and he will help you. Mouthy Yorkies won't. Get back. Ask him for his help. He'll help you. Then for others of you, if you're like, okay, I'm going to need help with the words. What am I going to say to her? Call on Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel will help you have the conversation. Archangel Gabriel is the communicator. You have power again. I step into my power boldly and confidently. You can trust these guys. And they're encouraging you. Embrace the future. At the bottom, I step in the future with an open heart. Both of them walking through a new door, new beginning, and believe in magic. True magic is abounding in my life. Now, the last 2 cards, they didn't want me to show you the bottoms of these decks till the end. You have hearts, love, and then this is your overall energy and your outcome. You have 10 of cups, and that is total fulfillment and happiness. That is the relationship that'll stand the test of time. That is the relationship built on a solid rock foundation that cannot be shaken, that cannot be taken down. And at this new moon, it's interesting that they were given all that information about the new year and the new moon. We're there. We're at the new moon. So if you can take that action, reach out, have that conversation, this is what you are receiving. If you reach out. So hopefully that helps all of you. I do wish you all an amazing month. I look forward to hearing how things go. And wish you a month filled with a lot of love, joy, and blessings. And I will speak with everyone again soon.